If tech had a rough week, Tesla had a horrible one with its worst one-day loss ever after it missed out on being included in the S&P 500. And then things got even worse when GM teamed up with its rival Nikola, taking a $2 billion stake in the company. Welcome now, Ross Gerber. He's president and CEO of Gerber Kawasaki, which owns a slew of Tesla stock. So you're a Tesla bull. Did it shake your confidence at all as you saw that come down 26% from the peak this week?
Well, no. I mean, in fact, I was more worried that it would keep going up, and it's like scary how much it's gone up. So to see a pullback of 25-30% after a 500% run up, that's pretty normal.
So this is clearly the growthiest of growth stocks, if I can say that. It's really betting on the come, as it were. It's going to keep growing up. What's the proposition that says that it can keep going this way? How many cars is it going to have to make? Because right now, if you look at the number of cars it makes compared to its valuation, it's not that great.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we're investing for the future, and not the past, because you're absolutely right. But I think what we're looking at is the fact that the entire infrastructure for the automotive industry is changing from gas to electric, and Tesla's leading the way. And Tesla is so far ahead of its competitors that it's going to take years for anybody to even develop a vehicle they can scale to compete. But what it is that consumers want electric vehicles, and consumers want Teslas, and they're sold out every day of the Teslas they have. And so when you extrapolate out opening up a gigafactory in Berlin and also in Austin, as well as the China factory now coming on fully online, their ability is to actually double production in the next 2 years and then double it again in 2 more. So there are no car companies in the world that are even growing, let alone doubling production. And Tesla's a technology company. They're developing full self-driving, and also it's a solar and energy company. And the battery component of their business has enormous value as well. So Tesla isn't a car company. I think that's the mistake a lot of people make in valuing it.
Is it a technology company? How much of the intellectual property does it own as opposed to license?
Well, they own all their technology. In fact, they build it all in-house. And when you walk into the Tesla factory, actually, the first thing you see isn't the factory. What you see is tons of people working on computers. So they're a software company first and foremost, and they built a connected car. And so like when you use the Tesla technology, you really understand that building a car is a very simple thing. We mastered that, 50 years ago. It's not about building cars. It's about building self-driving technology, building an incredibly safe car, and building an electric vehicle. Because right now I'm in California, and literally the whole state is covered in smoke, and we just cannot live this way. And electric vehicles is one of the ways we can help solve climate. So it has to be addressed.
Ross, you put to a really important point. How much of the future of Tesla, the future growth of Tesla, is based on actually what the government does? I mean, we have right now Joe Biden run for president saying he's going to have a very different energy policy from President Trump. China has been out in front often and saying we got electric vehicles. How much is this really driven by government regulation?
Well, I think that's a big part of it. Absolutely. And in fact, Tesla was started because the government wanted to invest in clean energy and lent them money to get started. And now, because of this enormous climate challenge and crisis we have, countries all over the world, except for the Trump administration, is full-fledged in trying to deal with that. And cars is the way. So China's decided to go all in on EV technology now and is developing some of the most advanced EV cars that we're seeing to compete with Tesla. And Tesla is also one of the top, if not the top selling EV in China. The United States policy will change dramatically under Biden, and it will be a huge benefit for Tesla and all of our green energy investments under Biden. But what Trump has shown is how much we need to change our policies so that we deal with climate, because we have no more time.
How big can it get?
Well, I've owned Apple my whole life, and if you would have told me 20 years ago Apple would be worth $2 trillion and the products and services, I would have said you're crazy. Yeah. So I don't know what Tesla will be worth, but if you look at dominating energy and storage, if you look at dominating EVs and self-driving technology, I mean, Tesla's $1 trillion company at some point. So, I think for a long-term investor, I hope Tesla pulls back more. It would be a great opportunity for the long-term investor.